We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon.
This is their direct participation on this, of course, changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. It will mean that NATO countries, the United States and European countries, are at war with Russia.
So the outcome or the consequence, especially with what Putin said recently in his statement, everybody needs to go and listen to what he basically said. He said that there will be an action, there will be a consequence to this very provocative step that the West is taking.
And if this is the case, then bearing in mind the change in the very nature of the conflict, we will make appropriate decisions based on the threats that will be posed to us.
We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict.
What was he thinking? What was he thinking? Aren't you supposed to be America first? Because this in no way, shape, or form is America first. This isn't for the betterment of the United States. This isn't for the betterment of the people of the United States. It doesn't help the United States. It's way off thinking, and this could land us into a World War III. Ladies and gentlemen, they'll never be transparent. They're so secretive about these things that they do behind closed doors that the American people just will never know. The world will never know exactly what's going on. So what do? We have to put the pieces together ourselves. We get pieces from the puzzle, we put them together, and we make a common sense, common ground decision as to what is actually going on to the best of our knowledge, right? So we have President Trump speaking on this. We have President Putin speaking on this, and we have General Flynn speaking on the developments that have just happened with Biden issuing the go-ahead for long-range missiles from Ukraine into Russia. Let's take a look. There's an attempt to substitute concepts because we are not talking about authorizing or prohibiting the Kiev regime from striking territory. It already does so with the help of drones and other means. But when we are talking about the use of Western-made long-range precision weapons, it is a completely different story. The fact is that I have already mentioned this, and any experts will confirm that in our country and in the West, the Ukrainian army is not able to strike with modern long-range precision systems of Western manufacture. It cannot do this. This is possible only with the use of intelligence from satellites, which Ukraine does not have. The data is only from satellites of the European Union or the United States. In general, from NATO satellites is the first thing. The second, and very important, maybe the key one, is that only NATO servicemen can make flight assignments to these missile systems. Ukrainian servicemen cannot do this. So this is not about whether or not to allow the Ukrainian regime to strike Russia with these weapons. It is a question of deciding whether or not NATO countries are directly involved in military conflicts. If this decision is made, it will mean nothing but direct participation of NATO countries and the United States, European countries in the war in Ukraine. This is their direct participation, and this, of course, changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. It will mean that NATO countries, the United States, and European countries are at war with Russia. And if this is the case, then bearing in mind the change in the very nature of the conflict, we will make appropriate decisions based on the threats that will be posed to us. So that message is quite clear from Vladimir Putin directly saying that you guys, Ukraine cannot do this. Ukraine cannot do this on their own. If they're going to be striking us with long-range missiles, we know what they got. The United States is supposed to protect its people. So in doing this, America is less safe. North Korea, Russia, Ukraine, we're World War III. It's World War. Let's go ahead and roll that Trump clip, see what he has to say about this.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us. It's the abolition of our national borders. It's the failure to police our own cities. It's the destruction of the rule of law from within. It's the collapse of the nuclear family and fertility rates like nobody can believe is happening. It's the Marxists who would have us become a godless nation worshiping at the altar of race and gender and environment. And it's the globalist class that has made us totally dependent on China and other foreign countries that basically hate us. These globalists want to squander all of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas while keeping us distracted from the havoc they're creating right here at home. These forces are doing more damage to America than Russia and China could ever have dreamed. Evicting this sick and corrupt establishment is the monumental task for the next president, and I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done. I know exactly what has to be done.
So Biden making this move now, after Trump wins the presidency, now he decides, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Well, the worst that can happen, Joe, is now that you've just put America in a predicament to where we're looking at a world war, that means Russia would be shooting missiles into the United States if they so choose. If they declare war on the United States, that's what happens. Is they start popping us. And they've got nukes. And they've got North Korea on their side. And they have nukes as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the United States is the strongest country in the world, military-wise. I think we could handle Russia. I think we could take them. Unless they throw the nukes at us, then nobody can handle that. So now here we go again. Trump's going to have to jump in with, I don't know who he's going to use, General Flynn or whatever, but here's General Flynn on this case right here regarding what's going on. And if the 25th Amendment needs to be invoked, I think now would probably be a good time to stop Biden in his tracks to letting him even attempt what he's doing right now. Anyway, let me know what you think. Anyway, go ahead and roll that, General Flynn.
So the outcome or the consequence, especially with what Putin said recently in his statement. Everybody needs to go and listen to what he basically said. He said that there will be an action, there will be a consequence to this very provocative step that the West is taking, because Putin recognized immediately that Ukraine can't handle these. This is not a system in their inventory, nor is it a capability that they have. They have to use other means, meaning they have to use other countries to leverage the way that this weapon system can be used. So there is going to be a consequence. I don't know what that consequence is. It would be speculation, but I will tell you that this almost feels like the West, and principally the United States of America, is taking NATO into a place where we don't have any business being. And instead of fighting for peace, as President Trump has continued to say, what is happening is these people are taking us to war. Trump is going to have to get on the phone with world leaders now and start, and he's probably going to have to put himself into the president mode, even though there's, like we always say, there's only one president at a time. But Trump needs to say, we need to have cool heads prevail here.
And General Flynn did that before back in the past. He got on the phone with Russia before and said, cool heads need to prevail, man. Let's everybody chill out for a second. The world just does not respect Biden, and he knows it, and he don't care, because now it's time for him just to go off and show that his angst towards what, the deep state has done with him and throwing him under the bus. He didn't even jump into the G20 picture last week, or they wouldn't even have him. They didn't wait for him. They didn't even wait for him to take the picture at the G20 summit. So take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You notice that picture? Who's not in it? Who's not in it? And they don't care. Joe Biden's not in the picture. They're looking for him. They're combing it right now. Whereas he's supposed to be right there in the middle between the top 5 leaders there of India, Brazil, South Africa, and China. He's supposed to be right in there in the middle of it. But he's not there. There's the IMF globalist up there. And then coming around, there's all the world leaders. Biden didn't make the picture. He didn't make it. And you know what? They're screaming for him now, but they don't care. They're done. They got the picture. They don't need him. Biden has checked out. Joe Biden. Hear him? Biden.
Where was he? They're telling him to wait for Biden, guys. Oh my God.
He's checked out. He's checked out.
Do you see him, Joe? Far left. Left to the left of the palm tree. Oh my God. But they took it.
They took the picture. Even C-SPAN can't believe it. Now they're looking for him. Where is he? Where is he?
Joe, he's behind the palm tree right now.
Up. He's behind the palm tree. Who's he talking to? Who's Biden talking to? Let's find out. I bet you he's with another snowflake. Yep, bet he is. So now the cameraman's still combing around, panning around. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Let's go. He's over there.
He's, Joe. Trudeau and Malone.
There he is. He's with who? Macron. Or no, Trudeau of Canada. Yeah, the other guy that's like 20% success rating or approval rating in his country. There they are. They took the picture without him. Ladies and gentlemen, he's chimed out. If he's panned out that far, if he just doesn't care anymore, then why is he issuing things about for Russia and Ukraine? We need to get him out. So invoking the 25th right now probably would be the best case scenario for America. Just would it help, though? Would it help if we did invoke the 25th and then you get Kamala standing right there saying, oh, well, corrupt minds think alike. So I don't know. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and click that notification, and we will see you on the next one. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.